Hello friends, welcome to MOOC on Institutional Assessment. This is the first video on Unit 1 Institute Review Process and Overview. This unit requires total 3 videos and the unit learning outcome is, after attending these 3 video sessions and consulting related study materials, learners will be able to identify the process and parameters for institute review. In order to achieve that outcome, one must be able to explain the need for institutional review in engineering or higher education system. He or she must be able to illustrate the stages involved in the review process of engineering or higher education institute, and also he or she will be able to identify the requirements of institutional review data and its management in digital era. Now the question is, why institutional review is needed in engineering or higher educational system? What is the present state of engineering education in India? We know engineering sector currently facing skill shortage. Gaps in the skills of the engineering graduates joining the workforce is highlighted by the employers many a time. At the same time, career paths of students are also changing. Present generation of students, they want to study as well as work in different ways. We also know that there are valid reasons for skill gaps, like non-availability of quality teachers, lack of commitment in creating professionals, clear-cut educational policies, etc. If we look at the present conditions, we are in the process of aligning the engineering education with the current needs of the society. But we have to remember that while doing, quality aspects should be ensured. So, we observed all institutions that are imparting higher education are forced to revamp their strategies to cope up with the change. That is the need for today, and this is done through accreditation by NBA, NAC or affiliation by AICTE. Moreover, we are now aware of National Education Policy 2020, the aim of which is towards developing well-rounded individuals equipped with the key 21st century skills. It can be noted that though some of the institutes are accredited, but as per NASSCOM report, out of the 3 million engineering graduates joining the IT workforce, only 25% of them are employable. So, do we know the reason for that? Several reasons are there, like imbalance in the location of institutes, heavy clusters in some parts of the country and very few in some other places. Then branch-wise imbalance. It is seen that 80% of the new seats created confined to very narrow areas like CSC or IT or related branches. Core branches are very less. Then third reason may be imbalance between degree as well as diploma institutes. focus more towards degree, so shortage and surplus of skill sets is also a factor. Another important reason is wastage in the system. It is seen that at degree levels it is about 20 to 22%, but in diploma level it is nearly 52%, which if we compare with IITs or NITs, it is marginal. Again, from management point of view also, there are some reasons like absence of effective planning, lack of clarity in duties and responsibilities, lack of delegation as well as decentralization of authority, then non-availability of recruitment procedure as well as ineffective leadership. Hence, to identify need-based change and innovation and to ensure quality in engineering education system, it is essential to review all the concerned processes under the system. But can we call an engineering education a system? We know the simplest representation of a system is this. It is shown that the system requires understanding of the whole, means all interacting component subsystems, boundaries, then inputs, outputs, feedback as well as relationships. That is, all the concerned processes are within the block which is marked as process here. Now, while reviewing, this system approach supports tracking of records like students database management, scholar register management, then enrollment as well as examination process system, account management, fee collection management, etc. easily at any time from anywhere. It is now possible to provide real-time online system to the institute, and on one click all the informations in the form of report will be available as and when required. Let us consider the process details of an engineering institute. Look at this figure. It has several departments offering specific programs with respective educational objectives as well as enabling outcomes. And here you can see it can be represented as a self-monitored, self-assessed system where the components are input, process and output in the terms of outcomes. The system component marked as continuous improvement acts as feedback of this system. Here, input acts as reference and all the outcomes concerned with vision, mission, educational objectives, program outcomes, program specific outcomes, course outcomes and even the intended learning outcomes act as input, and the stakeholders play a very important role in deciding the input component. Again, if you see the process consists of two subcomponents. Number one, learning teaching, and the second is the assessment. We can note here effectiveness of the process depends on the planning, implementation, monitoring and feedback of all the activities of concerned subcomponents. For an engineering institute, effective performance of the whole system needs to consider a few important points. Point number 1, incorporating creativity or innovation into engineering programs. Point number 2, promote opportunities or to increase the diversity of engineering students. Point 3, a strong emphasis on project work. Fourth point, greater interdisciplinarity. That means learners must undertake complex projects in interdisciplinary teams. Point number 5, industry engagement in design and delivery of curriculum, which will help in creating an effective workforce for the future. Finally, we must remember that the formation of the professional engineer is a process which involves education, training as well as experience. So, let us conclude this session. Point to be noted here that review process must consider the institute as a system and focus on all aspects of the system components connected to the scope of the review. In the next video, we will discuss about review process in engineering or higher educational institutes. Till then, goodbye and thank you.